Welcome back to the Rethinking Youth Ministry podcast. One of the things that we love the most is getting to rethink things with you. And so we asked some friends from all across the country, what are they rethinking? Today we get to hear from Zoe from the Midwest. Let's listen to what she has for us.
Hey, I'm Zoe Heemstra from Cultivate Co-op, and we get to serve churches and ministries in the Midwest, from Minnesota down to Texas. How do we get the next generation excited about church again? Or do we even try? Youth can get content for worship, messages, anything, everywhere nowadays. So what's the pull of church? Certainly it's not innovative programs or exciting merch or really good social media, because again, that's everywhere. I think the pull or competitive edge of Christianity is Jesus, relationships, love. So what would it look like for churches and ministries to reach youth with Jesus, relationships, love, and not exciting, flashy things?
I love getting to hear from different leaders and the things they're rethinking. So Zoe asked us a question. She said, what's the competitive edge? She said, how do we get excited about church again? What are all of your thoughts?
Zoe was awesome. Just hearing the way she was talking about ministry, I was like pumped up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like she gets it. That's all I want to say. I know we'll talk more.
It makes you want to like reevaluate everything that you're doing. Like she just asked a bunch of questions that now I'm gonna like walk out of here and go ask myself those too with my ministry.
Yeah, and I think reevaluate is such a good word. That was the thing that came to mind for me, is like, that feels like a challenge to every so often regularly do a checkpoint where you are reevaluating, why are you doing the big program? Why do you care so much about merch? Like all these things, that none of those things are bad, but the why behind it is important to always keep front and center.
Yeah, that's good.
So Jared, I'm curious if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, that was a wonderful question. I think I heard more of her conviction within the question. So I just want to bless that. I think that's a wonderful conviction to have. Future leader indeed, or emerging leader. One thing I would say is I think in any context, we need to ask the question for and with young people, what is a good person to them and what is a good life?
Say more on that.
And when you get those questions, how does the gospel of Jesus clarify or actually give a different direction?
Yeah, that's really good.
Because you want to start, in my opinion, you want to start with where they're already longing for.
I love that, Jaron, because like I think that's the thing that I loved most about what Zoe said is, and like I think it was the way she said it too, because she's like, look, it's not just like cool things and merch and this and that, and like a lot of times, and I'm saying this as someone who has been in youth ministry for like I think like over 15 years now, which I think ages me also. And I don't even want to admit the fact that it's like, oh, she's a younger leader, whatever. We're all young. Anyways, is like, those are the things that we try to compel students with. Like, those are the things that we do because we think they're going to get the quote unquote results that we're looking for. But both what Zoe is saying and then what Jaron is saying is a new way to think that, I think it orients our goals in a different direction that can be so powerful.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's very true. I think students today want something so different than they did even like 5 to 10 years ago. So the question she's asking is great, because I think we all do automatically go to like, what's the big like highlight thing that's going to draw them in?
Yeah.
And I don't think there is this like one big like, here's this huge Sunday, like come to that. I don't think that's what's going to draw them in anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's our competitive edge? Like, that sounds weird, like a weird question, but I think it's an important one.
I think she hit it like right on when she said it's Jesus, it's relationships. You know, her list of things were very clear that it has to start with those things. Those are the things you can't get anywhere else. Exactly. You know what I mean? And so, or I should say, maybe you get those in other ways, in other spaces, but the church as a whole, not just as a location, but the church as a body of believers get to create those environments and steward those moments that you can't always find just out there in culture. So
yeah, that's so good.
Zoe, thank you so much for sharing what you're rethinking and asking such thoughtful questions. I think they're going to continue to spark incredible conversations that just help us become better as the church. So if you've got things that you're rethinking, reach out to us at Orange Students. You can always DM us there.